Hello everybody and welcome to the midweek market update from Smack the Markets for the 25th of September. So as this week has progressed, we just seem to have more and more political turmoil on both sides of the pond, just to keep traders on their toes. We've got the pending US impeachment of President Trump in the US. Of course, we've got the sort of challenges with the UK Parliament in the UK, and now Mr. Johnson, the Prime Minister, seems to be facing a lot of questions over the pausing of Parliament. And of course, this is in the backdrop of the US and China trade situation, which the markets are paying very close attention to, and of course the Iranian tensions as well. So there's plenty there to keep the markets on their toes and also traders focused on those big events. So before we take a look at the markets, I just want to give you a reminder here. If you like our market reports, if you find them useful, please make sure that you subscribe to them on our website at smackthemarkets.com. We do these twice a week, updating the markets that we've discussed from each session, and detailing the markets that we're focusing on, or some of the markets that we're focusing on going forward. But you can register for these, and these will be placed or sent to you as they're delivered into your email box. Okay, so let's take a look at the markets that we discussed on Monday. Now, first of all, if we have a look here at the Dow Jones. Now, on Monday, we were looking at the market sort of moving from 27,000, from the key level here at 27,000. We were looking for the markets to continue its downward move, possibly test the 26,800 level. In fact, what happened was that the market sort of closed that trading window, pretty much went straight on to close the 26,700 and get down to the next sort of structure point. And now we've got that sort of rebound. At the moment, you can see that the market's sitting at 26 or just underneath 26,800. The trend here is now sort of firmly to the short side, and with the sort of news of Mr. Trump being impeached, there is potentially not a great deal of good news here for US stocks. So I'd expect this market to sort of continue, expect these trends to continue, and we're still looking for 26,500, this sort of structure down here, to sort of be retested towards the remainder of the week. Now, we also discussed copper on Monday. So if we come and have a look at copper hasn't moved a great deal. It's sort of treaded sort of sideways here. It's just started to sort of break down this morning, and our analysis is still intact for this one. So we're still looking for the market to roll over, still looking for shorter opportunities here. And the main reason for this is when we come to the weekly time frame. You can see as long as the market is underneath this sort of 2.6 sort of 20 area here, just underneath this sort of current week candle, we're sort of looking for shorter opportunities and for a retest down here at the 2,500 level down here. So we're still looking for shorts on this. We haven't had anything just yet because of the sort of sideways movement in the early part of the week. Now, the Forex market that we discussed was Aussie yen, and we were looking for short opportunities on Aussie yen. In fact, we've actually had a couple of trades on Aussie yen, a couple of good targets on this one as the market sort of rolled over from Monday. Now, we sort of hit our two targets. The trade that we took here was on the 2-hour chart. You can see the sort of setup there. So from here, the market's sort of then gone sort of sideways, but it's now sort of putting in a real base around where price is at the moment. So if we come back to those higher time frames, you can start to see this starts to look a little bit more interesting again here on the daily time frame and on the weekly time frame as well. Our sort of longer term analysis here is that we're still looking for short opportunities. We're still looking for this weekly trend to continue, and that means sort of getting down towards these sort of old lows. Still plenty of distance to the short side, and we'll still be looking at short opportunities on Aussie yen. Now, there are a few other opportunities on yen markets as well. And if we look at Great British Pound, which will be one of the more volatile markets and slightly more risky markets to trade this week because of the sort of UK Parliament situation at the moment. But if we take a look at this one again, it's against the yen on the weekly chart, we can see that the market is just sort of breaking down, or has broken down now below last week's candle. It's rejecting off one of our structure lines here, also rejecting off our sort of in our fair value zone area. So we're looking for sort of a first target here of 130 on Great British Pound against the yen. And even when you start to come down to the lower time frames, we've got sort of like a bit of a level here underneath these sort of lows. If I just sort of mark that in, you can see these lows sort of clustering with previous highs. There's clear support and resistance here. This breaking underneath here is our sort of trigger point. We want to, once the market gets underneath these, we'll start to look for opportunities using our trading techniques to trade this one short. And it is that weekly trend that we're looking at most interested. Now, there is another market that I think is looking sort of quite interesting on the yens as well, and this is dollar yen. So again, not quite so close to potential sort of setups, but if we look at this from a weekly perspective, you can see the market sort of again rejecting off some very key levels here on the weekly chart. We've also got a short trend here, and the market's in that sort of fair value zone. So starting to look sort of quite interesting, this market to the short side, but we do need to see these, or do have a little bit of concern over a couple of levels here around this 107.20 and the 107 level. It looks like we might be only looking at very sort of short-term trades until we get clear of 107. Once we get clear of 107, then there looks to be a much bigger sort of trading window to the short side. So there's a few markets there, a few opportunities that we're keeping a close eye on in the trading room going over the second half of this week. I certainly hope it helps, and look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye for now.